Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome to the Mental Wellness Wake Up Show, a weekly podcast where growth minded, creative people come to learn best practices from both spirituality and psychology that create lasting well being. I am your host, mental wellness expert, improvised acting teacher, therapist, and coach, Dawn McMillan. Let's get to it. All right, you beautiful beings. Thank you for being here. If you are here for the first time, willkommen, bienvenue, bienvenidos, liosiem chaniavu. Welcome, 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 welcome. However you got to be here, I am grateful that you are here. And to my returning listeners, what? I'm giving you a big giant hug. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for coming back. It's an honor and a privilege to spend time with you. So thank you. So, if you're just catching up, we are diving into the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a 9-pointed wisdom system, often used and understood as a personality typing. And my belief is that human beings are way too complex to fit into just one anything, whether it's a personality type or a astrological sign or an anything else. We are complex, beautiful beings, and we contain all of everything within us, just to differing degrees. And so we can always learn from each of the individual Enneagram types, both where our tendencies lie and how we can use each of the types to guide us toward greater integration, greater peace, greater love, greater joy, greater power, greater all the good things. So let's continue. So traditionally, we start with the Enneagram 8 because the 8, 9, and 1, which are at the top of the circle of the Enneagram, are our gut center, our instinct center, our body-centered people. And as a reminder, the centers are just a little bit where you lead from. Some people lead from the heart, some people lead from the head, and some people lead from the body. So we're moving on to our Enneagram 9s. And Enneagram 9s are some of my favorite people, and I bet they are some of your favorite people too, because the Enneagram 9s are known as the peacemaker. So Enneagram 9s are characterized by being so very easy to get along with. They're easygoing, self-effacing, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, sometimes complacent. One of the challenges that Enneagram 9s have is this tension of wanting to always maintain inner comfort and outer comfort. So the basic fear of the Enneagram is of loss, separation, or annihilation. Loss, separation, or annihilation. And the basic desire of the Enneagram 9, our peacemakers, is to maintain inner stability and peace of mind. So there's a part of them that believes you are good or okay as long as those around you are good or okay. So Enneagram 9s don't like to upset anyone else, and they don't like to be upset. So they can be super easy to get along with. So here's a quote from an Enneagram 9 that our Enneagram 9 friends might recognize. I am aware of focusing on other people, wondering what they're like, how and where they live, etc. In a relationship with others, I often give up my own agenda in favor of other persons. I have to be on guard about giving in to the other's demands and discounting my own legitimate needs. So in the Riso Hudson system, they call the Enneagram 9s the crown of the Enneagram because they're on the top of the circle, but also because they can appear like many of the other Enneagram types. They sometimes have the strength of the 8s, the sense of fun of the 7s, the dutifulness of the 6s, the intellectualism of the 5s, the creativity of 4s, the attractiveness of 3s, the generosity of 2s, and the idealism of 1s. But what they often are missing is a sense of inhabiting themselves. So this idea of merging is really common with nines. The other thing that's really common with nines is a great love of their creature comforts. Nines, they like to be comfortable. They like to be comfortable, and they like to make other people comfortable. So, as we said before, we're not necessarily going to focus so much on how or why people become that way. The answer really is unknown and because. It is a nature and nurture situation. Your tendencies and other people's tendencies. So, what's great about being a nine? Nines are really easy to get along with, right? Nines are very like people and are liked by people. It's like one of their superpowers is that they really genuinely like most of the people that they meet. And unsurprisingly, most of the people like them. The downside of that for nines is that sometimes that liking and being liked can prevent them from standing up for themselves. So looking at, we're in the Riso-Hudson system, and I may go back into the eights in the Riso-Hudson system. Forgive me, eights. Don't come looking for me with a knife. I don't want to get in a knife fight with you. But we may go back to the eights in the Riso-Hudson system because I think it might be it just might be an interesting interrogation. But what I would love to do, and the reason why I switched over to the Riso-Hudson system, is they have this levels of development of the type 9. And so if you recognize yourself as a 9, nines are stubborn. Remember the body group, 8, 9s, and 1s have a unique relationship to anger. 8, 9s, and 1s are characterized by how they are managing their relationship to anger. So a 9 can be shockingly stubborn, right? They're the go along to get along types, almost always. But when a 9 reaches a breaking point, you will see a person that you did not know was in there, right? That super stubborn, angry person, when they finally come out, can be really shocking and surprising to the people around them because we're all used to like, oh yeah, they're fine. They're fine with whatever. They're the ones who are like, hey, where do you want to go dinner? And they're like, I'm fine with whatever. And they will make it fine. They will be fine with whatever. So in the Riso-Hudson system, they give levels of development. So I'm going to take a look at these so that our 9s can check in for their opportunities for growth. And for the rest of us, we also can check in and say, oh, I kind of notice that tendency in myself. How can I encourage myself to go one more level up, one more expansive level? Are you tracking with me? Okay. So when a 9 is at their most unhealthy, a level 9, 9, they can be characterized as being self-abandoning, disappearing. Very unhealthy 9s feel unable to face reality at all. They withdraw into themselves and become completely unresponsive. They may attempt to eliminate their awareness to save their illusions of peace through fragmenting themselves into subpersonalities. Are you hearing the mental illness and the addiction temptation there? A totally self-abandoning 9 may not be there at all. They may have these subpersonalities that emerge instead. They may numb out so much that they don't face reality. So the question then becomes, to what degrees are you and I, disappearing and self-abandoning? Okay, level 8, disassociating, disoriented. Sometimes 9s are so desperate to hold on to whatever shred of inner peace they have that they fear acknowledging reality at all. So they can be kind of numb, helpless, or even have amnesia. Now, this is something I notice a lot with people who have trauma. They have this 9 characteristic, this Enneagram 9 characteristic of they checked out so much, they don't remember. Whenever someone says, I don't really remember my childhood, I'm like, oh yeah, you've locked your childhood behind the trauma doors. Another level up, level 7, repressed, neglectful. Nines fear that reality will force them to deal with their problems, and this may be true. They may react by defending the illusion that everything is okay and stubbornly resisting all efforts to get them to confront their problems. They're depressed, ineffectual, and listless. I will raise my hand. I've been there. I've been there. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, 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 no. Everything's fine. Yeah, totally listless. Like I have no desire to do anything, but everything's fine. Yeah, raise your hand if you're guilty of that one. Don't raise your hand. I can't actually see you. But yeah, definitely been there. Okay, moving up. Level 6. Resigned and appeasing. Nines are afraid that others will demand responses from them that may arouse anxiety and ruin their inner peace, so they downplay the importance of problems and try to deflect others. So this is where you're resigned. You're like, I'm just going to keep on stoically trudging through. I'm going to deny my feelings. I'm going to deny other people's feelings. I'm going to suppress my anger. I'm just going to suppress and deny and act stoic and wish that things would get better. Level 5, disengaged, complacent. Nines worry that any significant changes in their world or any strong feelings will disrupt their fragile peace, so they set up their lives in ways that will prevent things from getting to them. They lose themselves in comforting routines and habits, putter around, and tune out problems. So that's disengaged, complacent. And that's an average 9. That's when it's like, everything's fine. Because what's so important to 9 is maintaining inner peace and outer peace. And so an average 9 may do that by just setting their lives up so everything's kind of comfortable. They've got their habits, they've got their routines, just trying to protect themselves from disturbance by having routine. Level 4, self-effacing, agreeable. 9s begin to fear that conflicts in their lives will ruin their peace of mind, so they begin to avoid potential conflicts by going along with others. They may consider matters not worth arguing about, but will also begin to say yes to things they really do not want to do. So at this level 4, we're talking about the go along to get along. Don't want the conflict. Would rather just go along to get along so they don't have to deal with conflict. I really don't want to have conflict. I really don't want to have my peace of mind disturbed. So even if I really kind of don't want to deal with this right now, I'll just go along to get along. So those of you who already know a little bit about the Enneagram may feel a little bit of that Enneagram 2 energy in here. And that's what Riso Hudson mean when they say that the Enneagram 9 has all these characteristics of these other parts. When I first saw the Enneagram, and I hope by now you've Googled the image, I was like, why is the 9 at the top? But if you begin to understand why the 9 is last and why it's on the top, it is because this type really does, depending on their level of emotional health at the time, embody the other parts in some really cool and interesting ways. So as we move up to a healthier version of a 9, we have unselfish and comforting. 9s reinforce their self-image by creating and maintaining peace and harmony in their world. They use their patient, level-headed approach to mediate conflicts and soothe others. They are often highly imaginative, inspiring others with a healing, positive vision of life. So this is that 9 embodying that 4, creativity, that Enneagram 2, understanding with their own special Enneagram 9 magic sprinkles on top of just being able to be a stand for peace. Unselfish, comforting. I have a very specific Enneagram 9 I'm thinking about who's often embodies this level. They're just patient and level-headed. They get along with others and they help others get along with them. Moving up to an even more expansive, healthier sounds judgmental. So let's just use that term lightly. We're just talking about ways of being that tend to produce more peace, more joy, more light, more love, all the good things than not. We're not being judgmental like, oh, you're a low level Enneagram. Nah, we don't do that here. We're just using these guidelines as ways of checking in to see if we're embodying a more expansive version of ourselves. So level 2, unself-conscious, peaceful. 9s focus on the environment or on relationships as a whole, desiring to maintain a harmonious stability within them and in their environment. Self-image, steady, easygoing, and kind. So the Enneagram 9 that I was thinking of often gives this vibe as well. These are just, like I said, if you have an Enneagram 9 in your life, you're like, oh my God, this person is so easy to be around, and you are grateful, yeah? Because that's why they're steady, and they steady others, and it's beautiful. And then a level 1, and this is where our Enneagram 9s get to have all of their superpowers without sacrificing themselves. Self-possessed, indomitable. 9s let go of the belief that their participation in the world is unimportant or unwanted. Thus, they can truly connect with themselves and with others. They also paradoxically achieve their basic desire to have inner stability and peace of mind. As a result of their self-actualization, they become self-possessed, dynamic, serene, and present. So I invite us all to think, what can we be, do, say, think, and choose so that we are self-possessed, dynamic, serene, and present? How can we be harmonious in ourselves and the kind of person who creates harmony around them? How can we use our imagination to be inspiring to others with a healing, positive vibe and vision? That is the gift of the Enneagram 9, inner peace and outer peace, steadiness within creativity without sacrificing ourselves. I believe we've come to a misunderstanding of boundaries where it's my inner peace at all costs, screw anyone who gets in my way. Healthy boundaries are being this Enneagram 9. I'm not willing to throw myself in front of a bus for you, but I'm going to do what I can to make sure that no one's getting thrown in front of buses. Why are people running in front of buses? Why are the buses speeding around, right? Self-possessed, dynamic, serene, present, 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 present. You thought I was done, didn't you? So that's our Enneagram 9s. Specifically for our Enneagram 9s, you need to be careful against sloth and numbing out. Yes, it's easier to sit on your couch and watch Netflix and eat pizza. But when you sit on your couch watching Netflix and eating pizza or fill in the blank numbing out or smoking pot or drinking wine or however else you're numbing out, you are depriving the world of your superpower. Did you not hear how awesome you are? Did you not hear how awesome you are bringing peace to yourself and others? We need you. So guard against sloth and checking out. So be on guard, not be on guard, but, take care. Take care. And for all of us, let's not numb out. Let's not numb out. Let's not sacrifice ourselves. And also let's not underestimate the power of being peace and creating peace. So with that, this week's invitation is to lean deeply into your inner Enneagram 9. Find that ability to be self-possessed, level-headed, serene, creative, imaginative, because you can. So we're channeling our Enneagram 8s, our dynamic stand up for what is right energy. We're channeling our Enneagram 9s, where we have that serenity that we can bring to others. And we are celebrating ourselves and each other because each and every one of us is unique and beautiful and glorious and worthy and deserving of love, peace, joy, prosperity, wholeness, health, well-being, freedom, autonomy, fun, safety, connection. Keep adding stuff that you desire for yourself. We are, each and every one of us, absolutely deserving of that. And I wish that for you, for every being on the planet. May we all have peace. May we all have joy. May we all have all those goodies. Because hear me now, believe me now and later, you are worth it. So thanks for being here. See you next time. I am so honored that you share time with me. If you've listened this far, then something here was of value to you. Would you please be a friend of the podcast and share it with at least one other person? The podcast is available on most platforms, including YouTube, and I need your help to get the word out. So please like, subscribe, and share, and a 5-star review on iTunes would be chef's kiss. Thank you so much. See you next time.